This is just going to be a quick run through of my all-inclusive photo studio organizer. I think people are always, I see this all the time, people all the time are, what's the easiest way to track your client investment, your taxes for your accountant, and what's the easiest way, and what do you do? And I try to tell people about this and that I sell this and that I have this and how amazing this is, but people don't get it. And I think that's with a lot of things. You don't get it until you see it. So here's me showing it to you, and hopefully, obviously I sell this, so that's profitable for me, but more than that, on top of being a business owner, I'm also a mom. And I am always trying to find ways to simplify my business to give me more time for my family and my friends. And, when I worked in QuickBooks, I'm not very good at it, and it's complicated and there's a ton to it, and it would take me hours. And I really needed something to simplify all of this for me. So I created this. My accountant prefers it to QuickBooks. He actually told me, stop sending me your QuickBooks, send me this instead, probably because I suck at QuickBooks and what I was submitting to him wasn't great. What just happened? Okay, sorry. I don't know if there's a whole lax in my video. I'm not sure. It just totally froze out. So hopefully this is still recording. And sorry for the big pause and delay. Anyway, so here it is. I'm just going to get to it, okay? So client's name, just say you have a Jane Smith and a John Joe. And you type in their address, 123 Sunflower, 456 Hemingway, whatever, their city zip, their email addresses, phone number, maybe who referred them. Maybe you do some kind of referral program, so knowing who referred them is important to you. It is to me because I do that. Or maybe for marketing purposes, so you can track what marketing you're doing if that works for you. What kind of session type they are. These particular tabs are for portraits. So you're going to see in a minute that weddings are their own separate tabs. So you can keep your portrait clients together and your wedding clients together, and like what's maybe making you more money and kind of track those things. So, if this is a family session, newborn session, 6-month session, things like that. If you do pre-consultations, if it's for a newborn session, it's probably important to know their due date. So I have a spot for due date, so you can kind of keep an eye on, are they emailing me, or are we past due date? If you're a newborn photographer, you know that getting the baby in the first 14 days is important. So knowing that due date and keeping on top of that is important. Session date, ordering session. I'm really bad with names, so I have names of children and spouses here, so that, when I meet with them multiple times, I can peek at this before they show up, and I know all their names, and I'm not like, oh crap, I don't remember the husband's name. And so I make sure that I jot that down. If you have like a quoted pricing, like maybe you're on the cusp of the year, so you've some of these people are in your old pricing and you've just changed pricing, and some of these people are in your updated pricing, so you can keep track there. What pricing, investment sheet are they on, 2013, 2014, if you offered any kind of discount. So basically that tracks everything to do with that client, and it's all in one place. And the great thing about this is that all of these tabs speak to each other. First off, I should also say before I switch, is that these tabs are collapsible. So when 2014 is over, close it out, and here you are with just 2015. You scroll up a little bit, you'll see 2014 still there, and you can open it up by hitting that plus button if you ever needed to go back and look at it. But once you're done with 2014, you don't want to have to always scroll down to 2015. Okay, so and all of the sheets do that. So anyway, so you're going to click over to the portrait client investment, so what your client is spending on their session, and you will see that, ta-da, again, they speak to each other. So you only have to type in their name one time, and then their name's going to show up on all of these tabs, on every single tab. You don't have to keep filling in their name on every single page. It does it for you, one time only for you. Super easy, super fast. You know, session fee, just say you have a $100 session fee. And, you know, when's it due or when did they pay it? Did they pay it? Yes, they paid it. Yes, they paid it. Additional, maybe you have other kinds of deposits, or you do a payment plan, or they come to you and they have their session and they pay the full amount, but then maybe a couple months later they come back and say, hey, I'd like to add on a print. So there's, you know, the initial additional investment, but then there's these extra ones in case you needed them. So just say they bought a $350 package, and you know, just say maybe they only paid $200 of it for some reason. They bought a $500 package. They paid the full thing. I'm going to scroll over here. And this is going to tell you total balance due, like everything that they would owe you or everything that they've paid. So this is this or what they owe you. So this would be the package plus basically every single one of these. Additional investment. Just say I had another one here. You're going to watch that $450 over here. It's going to jump up to $650 because I added a $200 here. So this is basically everything that they're going to owe you. Everything that they've paid you or need to pay you. Total paid, excluding taxes, because how I do things is that this would just be the package price. And then all the way over, you'll see all the way over here is where I would put in the taxes. I want to do that right out of the gate. So I have their ordering session with them, or they, you know, do it themselves online. You're going to get that form emailed to you. It's going to break it down. It's going to show you what their sale was. It's going to show you what the tax was. I keep it broken out on here because it's easier that way. You don't have to go back in and kind of calculate out, oh crap, you know, the total sale that was including taxes, and now I've got to start multiplying things out to figure out what the actual tax was and what I owe the government. Forget that. That's a pain in the butt. You don't want to do that. And again, wasted extra time. So anyway, you'll see balance owed. It's tracking everything this person's doing. So right here, remember they only paid $200 of the $350. This little form's telling you, hey, they still owe you money. Just say you collected $24 in taxes from them and $36 in taxes from them. Okay, so this is pretty much, you know, these two clients, they're set, okay? Then you're gonna go to your portrait session investment. This is what you pay in product. So just say you had to spend $35 in prints for them, and they didn't do any albums, and they didn't do any accordion albums, but they, you know, wanted a 20 by 30 canvas. You know, all of my sessions come with USB drives, so you're gonna see $10 on every single one of these for my clients. And this is what you paid out of pocket. It adds all of this stuff up. Okay, you've paid $195 in products for your client. They paid, you know, total client investment. They paid you $300. They still actually owe you another $150, but if you remember back before, and then this is what you've ended up making after they've paid you whatever it was for their package. You bought the products. This is what you're left with. You made $105 in that session. Okay, same thing with this one. Just say they did $50 in prints and $150, and this again is your cost. Okay, I mean, I'm just making up numbers here, so I don't know what printer you use and what your cost would be, but this is your cost. Okay, accordion albums, whatever, no canvases. Again, you're gonna scroll over and you're gonna see you spent $240 in that session. They paid you $600. You made $360 is in your pocket. That's what you made. Okay. Okay, here's the check flow list. Hang on a second. This does take a minute to load. Of course, it's going to freeze on me. There we go. So there their names are again. Just like I said, these forms all speak to each other. So I love the check flow list because it's hard to keep track of all these clients and what you're doing and what you still need to do. So as you do them, you just quick open this up, check it off. I sent up a follow-up after they emailed me asking for pricing, saying, hey, you just need any more information? Do you want a book? You know, we did the session, and basically you can just go back to this and say, you know, is there anything that I forgot? Did I mail them a thank you letter? Do I still need to, you know, whatever? And you just check these things off as you do them. And then here we go. We're going to come over to the wedding. So Rachel Smith, Sarah Ann, and then again, this is all the same stuff that was in the portrait, but for weddings, okay? Except for like, you know, session type, wedding, engagement, both, pre-consultation date, you know, engagement session date, wedding date, ordering session, and then again with the quoted prices, discounts, blah, blah, blah. Again with their investment. So just say you have $225 session fee for weddings. I'm just making this stuff up. They both paid $225. She bought a $3,500 wedding package. She bought a $3,000 wedding package. They both paid their stuff off. No additional investment. So here you go. This is the total that each of them, you know, owes with the session fee and the package that they chose. Total paid. So they both paid their stuff up in full, and they don't owe you anything because, again, paid in full. And then just say, you know, you have $96 in taxes here, $112 taxes there. Again, I'm making this stuff up. Wedding session, what you spent, so $100 in prints. Maybe they got an album. They wanted a canvas. They had $200 in prints. They did not want an album, and they did not want a canvas. And if you scroll all the way over, it's going to show you out-of-pocket cost per session. Okay. So that's what you spent out of your pocket to pay for their products. Client investment, what they spent. So your session net profit, you made $3,275, $3,025. It all adds everything up for you. I mean, this thing is amazing. They have the wedding checklist, just like the portrait checklist. I probably shouldn't have clicked on it and just said it because it freezes things out, but you see again the names, everything's shifting over. Your monthly expenses, so just say you had $50 in traveling and you pay $50 for your internet and $45 for a phone, or not your internet but your website, and $30, maybe $50 a month for internet, and if you bought any backdrops that month or whatever, adds it all up. Okay, on here, this is what you spent this month and all of these things. So here's your portrait net profit. So your clients invested $900. You had to pay $435 in product for them, canvases, prints, whatever. And then you take, you know, this basically is adding it up for you. So that's what you made after you pulled from the funds what they paid you to purchase product. And then here's the taxes that you owe the state for portraits. Okay, same thing for the weddings. You made $6,950 from your weddings, but you had to pay $650 in product. So your profit ended up being $6,300. That's what you owe the state in taxes for weddings. And then here's the big sheet, okay? Total client investment. That is the total amount of what you have made from portraits and weddings. So almost $8,000. These are your monthly expenses right here, everything you spend every month, but that's going to total up all your months. You know, as each month goes on and you're adding things up, this would be everything that you've spent on internet, you know, props, anything for 2014, what you've spent on product, and then there's what you made last year. And then this is what you owe the state in taxes complete. So, I mean, this Excel sheet set of spreadsheets is amazing. It's super simple, super easy, cheaper than QuickBooks, easier than QuickBooks. It does everything that you need. I mean, like everything. I have not found a thing that these tabs does not track for my business and track super easily. So if you wanted to purchase it, you would go here to my Etsy site. So it's www.etsy.com/shop/a moment to remember, and then just the letter P. So a moment to remember P, right there, just like that. And you can see it's right here for $95. And I mean, it's a lifesaver. It's just, I've sold it to many photographers. Everyone cannot say enough good things about it, how much easier it's made everything for them